Paint Night Podcast is about getting to know the artist behind the painting. Our mission is to provide a platform where artists come together to create art and share their stories. Thank you for joining us and supporting the arts. With our sound, hello peoples and other peoples. Ooh, that's a really good one by Rusty. Anyway, we are trying a new setup today, and we're hoping to try to focus more on the artworks. Thank you everyone for supporting and subscribing and doing all the fun things. Let's see. I am starting on a new one, so this episode is probably just me painting white. So I know artists who have made a lot of money just doing one colors anyway, so we'll see where it goes.
Welcome.
Hello.
Welcome, Paint Night, peoples.
Let's see.
Oh, Uncle Toby's pissy
Yeah.
today. That's all
get...
that's needed to know. Uncle Toby's pissy.
Let's see. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna light this little incense thingy. Get in the mood. Ah. Looking at equal bracket. There we go.
The first 20 minutes of Paint Night this week should be This is what happens, kids, when you don't have your shit together. Or you spend too much time drawing and losing track of time.
Daydreaming, getting in other worlds and such. I know I get caught up on drawings real quick. Oh, this is a huge canvas. Why don't I have huge brushes? Wait, no, I might have a huge brush. Let's see. Nope, these are all smaller than the ones I already have. So I think we have this episode, next one. So only 3 more left before I go traveling and we start doing things from Skype.
I thought you left on
The 30th?
Oh.
Yeah, so we only have this following Sunday and Wednesday of next week.
Yep. Look.
What's up?
Damn it. Oh, nothing.
Oh, nothing?
Not prepared. Caught up in changing cameras instead of actually having my shit together.
So he decided to redo Justice.
I'm gonna redo my entire life.
Well, you can always do that. One day at a time.
Thanks for the permission, Ma.
You're welcome. If that was all it took.
I do what I want. It's my hot paintings. It's my hot mess. I'll do what I want.
And if I want to sit in it, I will.
Hell yeah. Alright, now I'm actually live on Instagram.
Whoop whoop. Get your shit together.
It's a goddamn nightmare.
Nah, it's not a nightmare.
Ugh, I'm a nightmare. Oh, this is awesome.
Does it feel like we're talking about the camera spaces. We're still trying to figure out how to do all this a little bit. But our camera spaces are a little bit closer than what Toby would like. And he is a very tall man who...
AKA gangly.
A what?
Gangly.
What does that mean?
Gangly means like lanky, like tall and long-limbed and...
Gangly?
Yeah, it's a great word.
It is. I can't believe I've never heard that one, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, so we moved the cameras around so you can focus a little bit more on art, but... I mean, I'm the one that initiated it because I wanted to focus more on the art. Like, nobody needs to see our faces. It was just a rough setup anyhow.
Well, we're trying things.
No, I'm not saying one way or the other. Like, it's just what we're trying. But by doing so, if I forgot why I was so frustrated the first time is because there's a tripod right up my ass. And me and my gangly self I get real frustrated if my elbows and arms start bumping into things. I don't like tons of things in a small area. It feels cluttered. I feel cluttered.
Cluttered.
I'm crying like a baby now.
I'm gonna be upset now.
Yeah, I'm a gangster baby. Yeah, see? But again, it's all for the greater good. The greater good. Anyhow.
Yeah, we're learning things. That's the great thing about life. And it also sucks at the same time.
Yeah.
It's just a bunch of messes.
Yeah, I'm forever a mess. But I mean,
we can always
the cameras look good. Like the images look good.
White.
At least from my point of view.
White. So white.
Yeah, and to add to my further frustration, I need another tripod or something so I can hold my reference pictures to paint, to redo the painting that I painted over.
Oh yeah, your iPad.
I used my iPad for the live stream, so my reference is not available right now.
You can always try to just quit for a second and reprint them.
Yeah, that's all right.
I've been staring at the thing all day.
Everyone's going to see part of my sketchy book.
Sketchy book.
Never mind the big drawing, because that's the bad one. All these are what I'm working off of. Believe it or not, that is what I'm working off of. You can tell by my canvas.
That actually looks really cool, seeing the sketch right next to it.
Yeah. We'll see.
True. Well, I mean, gives an idea of where you're going.
Yeah, or at least...
I find that people are very fascinated with sketches, because people don't realize the finishing product is not always what our sketches and things look like.
Oh, no.
At all.
No.
Can we get a close-up?
Quick close-up of my sketchbook? Sure. Proportions are way off on the big one, but I'm actually working off of... And not that one, actually. That one. She's golden right there. Golden. But the thumbnails were done last night. So sitting at a hookah, drinking tea and...
Egyptian tea.
Yeah, Egyptian tea and...
Nefertiti hookah.
No.
What titties?
smoking the tobaccos. Ah!
Oh!
Party. And that's why we call it paint night.
Where all the technical difficulties come up.
I am the technical difficulty.
You're technically difficult.
I am technically difficult. Thanks, Kim. Kim Street. 100. Kim Street. Whatever. I don't know. I can't read. I never learned to read. That's kind of a lie.
Do you read a lot, Toby?
Yeah, I do. Well, I used to a lot more than what I do now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You listen to a lot of audio stuff
Audiobooks, yeah.
I've been to. I find it's a little easier, but I need to start reading books, like find a balance with it. You know, more I think about it.
Yeah. I mean, when I was in school and everything, I wasn't, like, I didn't read very much. It was a chore to get me to read.
Yeah.
And then, like, I had no problems reading. It was just, nothing interested me because, or at least the things that that were assigned for me to read, was like, nope, nothing interesting at all. And then I started finding things that I was actually interested in. I was like, oh, this is fucking rad. So I'd read all the time, and then got busy painting, and it's really hard to read and be focused on work, you know what I mean, or so like there's still a couple like hard copy books that I try to read once a year, just because I like them.
Which is one of them? Which one do you read?
Funny enough, and I'll probably catch some shit for this one, but I like reading the Bible.
Really?
Yep, from cover to cover at least once a year.
I definitely would not have guessed that from you, actually.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I mean, I don't... Obviously, I take and leave what it is, but... Yeah.
No, that's quite fascinating. I've been getting into learning a little bit more about the Bible.
You're beautiful, Charles. I miss your face, baby girl. I'm
gonna bring this up now.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
You're getting into reading more, you say?
Yeah, well, not reading more, but I've been listening to a lot of things. And there is like a lecture series I've been listening on the psychology of the Bible.
Oh, okay.
And like things, this guy kind of tries to analyze it through a psychological perspective and what kind of messages they're trying to say, rather than taking it all for like this happened, blah blah blah. Yeah. He's taking the metaphors and the stories that they tell.
More of the allegory, the allegories.
And he said something that the Bible is more of the old lessons that we have learned through time that have made us better. And then like these are stories and allegories and like things that you will encounter in your life. And that's why the Bible like touches a lot of people in a way. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, you can find yourself in any of those situations, I suppose. Or many of us do find ourselves in those situations. I can't wait to paint with you either, Charles. Speaking of, I put you right beside me on paint night a couple times. No pressure. Which will be super fun because there's so many amazing artists and painters. Which is so many. Can't wait to
paint
get
with
everybody. Get everybody together and paint.
Me too. I'd like to paint with you,
share
Charles
stories.
And Tyson and stuff.
Alex, yeah.
Alex too.
Dude, us three together, we've there's definitely some funny stories that happen.
Yeah.
Stories shared. Which, if you haven't heard by now, because I've said it a million times, is like one of the big reasons I like doing this is to get the stories and just the shit nobody really hears about during panels.
I feel like your brain just goes into a different mode when painting sometimes too. You get more relaxed.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. It's kind of like you can. I guess it. I mean, if I was gonna be that, you could interview an artist and get like real answers. You know what I mean? And real stories without like any kind of like. And I'm noticing I'm saying like a lot, but you can. We had a discussion on that earlier.
We'll talk about that in a second.
Yeah.
Go on.
But you can get a lot more in-depth kind of interview and just honesty without any kind of walls. Like that wall is broken when you're painting. We talk horrible shit, you know, like we just say things just to one up the other guy, you know, a lot of times. Just in being funny. But some of that stuff is the best. Like, talking about I won't even say it, but yeah.
I feel like that's a dude thing.
No, because I would automatically say yes, that it's a dude thing, but
or more of a dude thing, rather.
But there's many women artists that I've sat down and painted with, and they've had stories and would say shit way worse than anything that I'd normally say, you know?
Yeah.
Where I'm like, wow.
Yeah. Like there's always other
You're
people.
super rad. You just talked about using a baby's brain or skull for a shot glass. All right. We're cool.
I had a friend that had a whole ceramic series based on that.
That's fucking rad.
Yeah, she like made a bunch of baby doll heads.
Oh, baby
in
doll.
Mold.
Mm-hmm.
I know you said skulls, but I was like, ugh, that reminds me of this one girl who did all this other
Yeah,
stuff. She put like blood and horns on it and made cups out of them and shot glasses out of them. They actually look really cool. What? Oh, yes.
I guess you can. Sweet.
Sorry, y'all. On the YouTube, it's just fixing my shit.
In song format.
In song format. And now, since I am impatient, well, I don't really have a pencil. I think I'll use. I wonder if a pen would show up on here. Nah, I don't want to use a pen. This will work.
Like a sketch of a sketch of a sketch.
Sketch on sketches. Ow!
Sketch on sketchers.
Sketchers.
Yeah.
Scatting.
Scatting?
Scatting.
Ski-bop.
Scatting.
Skaba.
Skaba. Let's see. Nope, that's the wrong brush.
No, we had a conversation earlier about.
Oh yeah. I keep saying like
yeah,
too much lately.
I think.
Well,
we
I think
all
it's
have
because
that go-to.
I started watching the videos back, and I notice myself a little more critically, and that could be the case. That could be the case. Well, because
No, it's
weird.
it's good to be conscious of that. You pig fucker. That's right, I said that. It's good to be conscious. Like, not overcritical. Just
Yeah. So, well, yeah. No, I understand that. I've been trying to catch myself a little bit more. And I just noticed it in the videos, and I know that's one of those moments, you know.
Yeah, you don't want to say.
What that guy? What that other guy say in that video? And something like that, like over and over and over again.
And stuff like that.
And something like that.
And stuff like that.
And something like that.
Stuff like that. And I
just don't want to be one of those.
No, that's fair.
Which is fine if you are. It's a type of communication for sure, but when I'm talking on podcasts, I guess I'm trying to think of... I guess I compare myself a little bit toward what I see other YouTubers do, and they're always clear and concise about what they say.
Yep.
And so it's just being a little more aware, that's all, which is good.
Yeah.
It's always good for everyone. I'm still gonna fuck up tremendously for...
You said fuck.
Fuckity fuck. But my dad's gonna get after me for that too. He used to watch my, when I did Twitch for a short bit, I did it for 2-3 months, and then I stopped. But my dad would get on there, and I would curse, and he would be like, language, or watch your mouth, or blah blah blah. And then same when I got a nose piercing, he'd always like put an angry face on Facebook or wherever I posted it on when I first got it. Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Well,
It's like,
I mean, that's...
I get it if it's language, it's cool. Everyone can say whatever they want, and people tune in to certain things, sure. But I also know to vibe with all communities, it's nice to just stay professional-ish when it comes to talking, and then let it out every now and then, maybe. But yeah, I think I used to curse a lot around that time though too, and I think that's what was frustrating him, now that I think about it. But I can't remember.
Yeah. But at the same time, I think also a lot of people say things to get that attention. You know, go overboard to be prerogative. No, sorry, wrong.
My prerogative is to curse real loud. Just say fuck every other word.
The ish, yeah. I hear it a lot. And I'm like, ish. What word goes before that?
I started saying that instead of shit. I think I remember why I formed that little habit, because I would talk to my dad a lot, and he'll still, actually he still catches me on it now that I think about it. But yeah, it's just fun. I don't know what the technical term for that though is.
I have no idea. Would not know. Yeah, no, I think people are outlandish on purpose to get attention.
For sure.
Or can.
How do you distinguish between the people who are outlandish or people that are just trying to be a little bit themselves, or just stating or doing whatever?
Well, I think that's a personal preference thing. You know what I mean?
So? Like everyone has like a different level of what they think that is.
Of course.
I could see that. I could see that very much.
No, that's not gonna work. Yeah, because I mean, you could talk about dead babies to me, and I'd fucking laugh, you know, or I'd probably have another joke or something for you. But I know there's people that you say that, or you know, something in the same regards, just in a joking manner, like big shit kittens. I mean, I wouldn't go to my grandma and be like, "Hey, grandma, I was watching YouTube and listened to this twat nugget fucking talk about this." She would just... First of all, my grandma would probably give me an odd look and just be like, "Oh, Jesus, Toby." You know? But she's been around me quite a while.
Yeah. Well, I know...
She kind of knows how I operate.
don't know. I guess I grew up in a Mormonish household.
Was it Mormon-ish or was it Mormon?
Well, because at first it was laid back, and then my family got divorced, and my dad really laid back for a while, because he was in, rough times, so whatever. For a year or two, we were just, trying to figure out how to piece everything back together again a little bit.
Sure.
And then he started going to church again, and that's when he started getting really strict. And then all of a sudden it was all the word of wisdom stuff was implied a bit more.
Mm-hmm.
And then going to seminary and all that, which I don't regret, but it made me tired from what I remember. But
I can see that.
But he's always been the marketing type too.
Uh-huh.
So he's always been about being more on the conservative end. To reach the most potential people, you need to be family friendly and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Which I understood, and I remember having a conversation with him because he was all like, "I'm not gonna help you with the conventions if you don't take out your nose ring," or something like that. And I was like, you know what? See, I keep saying it. Stop. Bad tongue. Bad tongue. Quit that. But I kind of told him that maybe if audiences like me, they'll like me, and that's cool. I get it. I understand. If you, for example, want to sell children's books, you don't want to go as something super scary and traumatizing looking.
Yeah.
You know,
I
I understand that perspective, but it's the small individual things. Because I had to explain to him. He told me about how he was in Canada for a short bit for a job, and how all these girls had nose rings and stuff, and he's like, and I don't know where it's coming from. I'm like, well, it's becoming more of a thing now. Most people don't really mind it if it's not as loud or as distracting. But
times change. I mean,
yeah.
The culture changes.
Yeah.
It always has been.
It always will.
Yep, absolutely. Well, I mean, it used to be a joke when I was younger. It was in the 60s. You look back and you think of, it was hippies and all this stuff. And then in the 70s, it was kind of the big, change or game changer was disco. And then in the 80s, it was kind of punk rock was a big one. But, there's always those big cultural changes. The next generation comes up and changes things, and there's always the generation that's left behind are what are these kids are deviants, they're crazy, their music is shit, they're blah, they're showing nothing but skin, they're naked all the time, and it's always that. So
when shorts used to be a big controversy at one point.
Yeah, yeah.
Skirts and stuff. So
I remember in the 80s when mini skirts
became a thing.
Well, yeah, fucking people lost their minds over it. Thank you. I'm doing my best. But yeah, people would just lose their shit over, it's fashion and stuff, because the first generation or whatever, or the generation before, I think they're getting away with something that I could never get away with. I think that's the mindset that they're coming from.
Maybe echoes of what their parents instilled in them.
Absolutely.
I was watching a video today, and some guy said that maybe getting to know your family, and I've kind of had this hint of an idea, but getting to know your family, you find out the codes to your DNA and your making, and everyone is coded in a certain way through genetics of their parents. So even the worries and troubles and things that
it gets filtered,
it reacts one way or the other.
Down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally believe that. I believe there's a lot in the DNA that gets carried through. I mean, more than just like all the way down. You know, like ancestor stuff.
I think so. I find that whole thing strange. I used to
find it interesting.
Oh yeah,
for
no,
sure.
well, strange and interesting for sure.
Well, strange and weird are just another word for interesting in my world.
True.
So.
I had this thought when I was super stoned at a friend's place, but I was there and we were looking out the balcony, and I was looking at a tree, and I was like, I don't know how this popped up in my head, but you know how there's the base of the tree, and it goes up and it spreads out to branches, and I figured I was thinking about family tree for some reason, and I was like, oh, well, it's exactly like we're all part of this one big thing connected to the tree, and that like the branches and the things are like divisions of possibilities of people and such. So all families, like we're all connected through our family regardless. And then same with, I think that, I can't remember if that was the premise on Assassin's Creed. They found like bloodlines to people, and that's how they were able to travel back in time or something. But I think that's how it works a little bit.
Okay.
I don't know.
No.
It was a random thought, but I remember at the time, like, that wasn't anything I would think about. And I was like, whoa. Stone thoughts.
And you were like,
and I like,
whoa.
I even
You're like,
what? Whenever I get really great ideas, or what I think are great ideas, I will explain them, and sometimes they don't come all through. But sometimes I get gems, like, through that weird working process. So I wrote it down in my notebook.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't even write down things clear and concisely. I just wrote down like tree and family.
Yeah, because you're
like a tree
stoned,
and family.
right?
Yeah, it's hard for me to concentrate to begin with, but.
Yeah, you know, it's kind of part of it.
It is. I likes it though.
And ish.
I like it in ish.
Could you do me a huge favor?
Hell no. What you need?
Grab me that clamp.
Okay, sure. Shush. This lamp?
The clamp.
Oh, the clamp. My bad.
Thank you.
Snap.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
Don't put that on my testicles. Oh, right on my kahunas.
Kahunas?
Yeah, see, that's the kind of shit most people are like, what? Why do you even have to say that?
Kahunas?
Or just the dumb shit that falls out of my face.
The dumb shit that falls out of my face. I love it.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. The original ideas are great and fun to process through. I mean,
they exist.
They exist.
Originality, I think, is just to the perceptor that's translating what already exists. I guess I'm thinking differently.
Well, yeah, it's. I think more of a translation, translating it into
your perspective.
Yeah,
your
something that you
eye.
Can comprehend, or just see it through your vision.
Mm. Gain personal revelation.
Absolutely.
Always.
And then there's those interesting moments too when you have the revelation that everything that you had thought is no longer true to you.
I had that the other day with letting go.
Like
that was like a weird lesson.
Like you have to, like everything down to your foundation is just completely crumbles. You're like,
it's just because the past you is dying, and the new you is emerging from that.
Well, and it's it's those
but your
things,
past self
those
has to die and
ideas.
suffer.
Well, yeah,
Like,
you don't have to suffer.
I think you do. I think you have to like hurt through it, and through that hurt, you have that decision whether to like dwell on it for a long time, or you have to sit down with yourself and be like, okay, what's going on? It's that hurt feeling, and then it comes out all at once. I feel like that's what those are. I have my best revelations when I'm down, but I'm also.
But that's you. Not everybody needs pain. Like there's a point where, if you're open to the change, you can recognize it before it comes to fruition. Mm-hmm. So you're not holding on to something that's already dead. You know what I mean? You can start rolling with and changing before it's a necessity to change. Most people, yes, and I totally agree.
But
like,
don't you need to change in order to become?
Yes, absolutely. You have to change. Like, well, you don't have to. It just becomes very droll and most of the time painful. Like, if you still have dreams to move further and forward, like, you have to change. Because a baby can't drive a car, so it has to change. It has to grow. It has to, learn things.
Yeah, it has to go through
Evolve.
trials and tribulations. Yeah. Get a shit sandwich every now and then. Hello, Toby's ma.
Oh, I changed my mind.
What?
On how I blend and do that. Yeah, the proportions were a little off, and I should have sketched it out, but I didn't. Hey, Ma.
We don't sketch out.
I do. If it's a technical drawing, yeah, absolutely. But I just needed something to paint because I didn't have all my shit together. Haha. But no, I think we all have to evolve. I mean, to get better.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't necessarily think that pain is a necessity for some people. And at the beginning, yes, pain comes because we're holding on to the past, but we still want this new stuff, right? So you're stuck in between, and it's this almost like a limbo, and nothing's happening. It's like right before a level up, because that's what it is. It's right before a level up, and if you're being pulled in two different directions, and you have a choice, you either hold on to the old that is no longer fitting for you, or you no longer belong in because you have evolved
right. So
far.
Doesn't that hurt though?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to hurt, because you can look at it. You can acknowledge the fact that you're changing and that you have to let go of it. You don't necessarily have to like it, but you go, okay,
yeah,
well, this
hurting.
is.
That's what I mean.
It's not a hurt. Like, I know people that have hurt. You know what I mean?
Not
from
physically, emotionally.
Well, yeah, but.
Well, also physically. Sometimes
Yeah, I mean, people do crazy things when emotionally they. When they're stuck in that spot.
Right. Okay.
You know what I mean? Because they're unable to let go, or they're unwanting to let go. So they keep doing the same things over and over again. A sign of insanity.
Well, that's also, like, if you're at a place where you don't want to be, isn't that a sign too?
I mean, it can be. It just means it's time to move. if you're in a place that you don't like, yeah, it's time to move. But sometimes you have to be patient. It's all on knowing when.
But how would you know when?
Wisdom from doing it over and over again, and being self-aware, to know yourself, to know your surroundings. I mean, you don't know that all the time. You don't.
I didn't know about where I'm going, but well, I think that's for me then. I don't know.
Yeah, everybody is different. I mean, I could write a book on how to paint.
Chapter 12.
You know, but it has to be exactly my way.
Mm-hmm.
That's not going to work for everybody. It might only work for me. And, I mean, case in point, a lot of times it only does work for me. Like, I'll tell anybody, like, how I do shit. Like, I have no problem with that. But I can't say that I have a method that will work for everybody and everybody will get the exact same thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What did your person say? But I get what you mean.
You reflect on...
What does it say? Certainly, my final emotions lost, but you keep looking forward into the new. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I can see that. I think if you're aware of it and you take notice and take note and you go through that process, the next time you notice it a little bit quicker, you know, and it's a little bit easier because you're like, oh, so this is what this is.
The momentum.
Okay.
Right?
Well, I mean...
Oh, I've been, like, trying to distinguish the following the gut kind of part and following the visions that one thought that it's like, oh, you gotta go. Like, you gotta move.
Yeah.
Or, oh, you gotta go do this thing. But then our brains wants to protect us and do whatever, so sometimes we have another voice that's like, no, but if you do that, you're gonna die, or, like, the most extreme. For, like, people who are scared of the world, for example, in a weird way.
I don't even know where to start on that. It's so vague and kind of, like, out there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. But, like, our brain has the two voices of, like,
sure,
you gotta
have,
go do this
you have
thing,
heart
but
and
then
you have mind.
another, yeah, the balance of the heart and mind, the two voices.
Yeah. Okay. But at the same... Okay, so as you're growing, let me just... My story. Like, at one point in my life, I was like... I was frustrated with where I was. Living in Ohio. Like, a lot of different things were going on in my life kind of coming to an end. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I didn't necessarily want to let go of that. Mm-hmm. So I tried to fix a lot of things, you know, relationships and holding on to a job that no longer really fit me anymore. Just a lot of different factors that were boiling in. And here I was stuck in the middle, like just trying to appease everybody and not taking note with myself, right? I wasn't even paying attention to myself.
No one's talking.
Oh, okay. So I was completely and utterly, like, at odds, and I had to actually take time for myself and, like, really go, what do you want? What's happening with you? You know what I mean? Like, I, you know, didn't live anywhere else. Mm-hmm. Like, I only lived in Ohio at that time for my entire life. I traveled and visited many other places, but I really liked Arizona.
What called you to Arizona to begin with?
I took a visit there and I just really liked it.
It just resonated with you?
Yeah, yeah. So it was just one of those things where, like, I had to, like, I came to terms and I was like, dude, if I stay in Ohio, like, nothing's gonna change. I'm gonna, you know, keep doing the same thing, work at the same place, or the same kind of place, not gonna, you know, I might get out every once in a while and travel a little bit, but I was stuck in the same thing over and over again, and doomed to repeat the same mistakes over and over again. So I kind of was just like, you know what, I gotta get the fuck out of here. And kind of looking around, ended up having a couple opportunities out in Phoenix, in Arizona, and I was like, perfect, fucking out. Sold a house that I had bought 5 years later, and a bunch of other things like kind of just happened the way that they were supposed to happen. But as soon, and I like had a lifetime worth of like, it was a Star Wars dork, still am, but like collected tons of Star Wars, toys. I had almost every Kenner toy that Star Wars ever came out with, or Kenner ever came out with, and all this shit. And I gave it away. I didn't even sell it. I just gave it away. I was like, here, fucking take it, sell it, burn it, I don't care. Just, I have to let go, because I was no longer that person. You know what I mean? Like, I had to grow. So just went completely out and then left there, and I mean, things worked out for me, and I'm completely a different person. But up until that time of me letting go of said relationships and all these things like that had that history, it kept me kind of capsulated in the same person that I was, and I was trying to grow. You know what I mean? So I couldn't fully grow and grasp all the lessons until I let go of the old me, the old position that I held for people. I had to let go. You can't. One of my favorite kind of whatever sayings or allegories, I guess, is like, if you want a brand new car, and your hand is full of like old keys of cars that you've had all your life, you can't grab a new car key once your hand is already full. You have to let go of them and grab another one. You know what I mean? It's clunky saying for sure, but I mean, the truth behind it is you can't hold on to the old and grab the new. You can't become something new if you're still the old person. You have to go through that evolution. Sometimes, yeah, it's painful if you know that.
Do you think it's easy to see what that is, though?
The more you go through it, sure. I mean, if you're paying attention to what's going on, yeah, I think it gets a little bit easier. There are definitely times where I'm like, fuck, this is not easy, or this is not going to be easy. But knowing that this is what I want to do, this is where I want to go, or this is for the best, or my best intentions for me and everyone I love, for me to do what I have to do, then okay, and it's worth it. I don't stress as much as what I used to about a lot of things because of that. Like, try not to hold on to shit.
Now hold on to shit by what do you mean by that? Like, just memories and things like that?
No, I mean, I'll hold on to memories, but like, I don't attach emotions to said memories. Like, I try to move beyond that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, and I think with time, a lot of that goes away.
Do you ever have to? I think you have to face them on a little bit.
Sure. Well, anything that's
I think
scary.
Coming to understanding, yeah, like understanding each reason why you do certain things. I'm trying to still go through mine for sure, but
well, it's
just
a life process. It's never ending. There's no enlightenment. Isn't a destination. You know what I mean? It's constantly being on the path. Like, you don't get to the end of the enlightenment path and go, oh shit, right. All right, I'm enlightened. Woo!
But I assume there's levels to living.
I think so.
Like, there's levels of being really prosperous or really well known or really like have a loving family and support group system and all that. Like, there's levels to that, I think.
Yeah, if that's what you want out of life, I guess. Yeah. For
sure. Or becoming the greatest at XYZ, too.
Sure.
Is definitely like a level standard or a hierarchy, I guess that is what I'm thinking of.
Scars? Oh, I got plenty of scars.
Stay awake.
Stay awake.
Oh, the iPad.
I'm
Trying to use it for a reference a bit.
fucking eating Andy
But I'm
over
realizing. No.
I'm slowly realizing that I'm talking a hell of a lot more than I'm painting.
That doesn't not happen every time.
Humility is a huge part of enlightenment, that is for sure. Or at least in my case.
What would you define humility as?
Be humble. To know, I mean, to love oneself, and I think balance. Not no, or to.
Let me look it up. I want to see what the definition to that is. Because I thought I had an idea of how to describe it, and that's why I was like, wait.
Humility?
Yeah.
To not be self-righteous. To know your placement.
It says a modest or low view of one's own importance, humbleness. So, just being able to understand that you might be wrong.
Yeah, to be open. But
open.
not to be. It's basically
but
saying
to be open
not to be
other
a
truths
self-centered jerk.
I don't think so. Well, yeah.
That's what it's saying.
To not be a self-centered jerk.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
but that
to be a self-centered jerk is not humble.
Everyone could be a self-centered jerk by just being stubborn.
Yeah, and they would not be humble. Right?
Right. Well, I think it just kind of...
You know what humble means when you meet a humble person, right?
No. Well, I know it means, like, they're truthful, they're good, whatever.
It means that they're...
We looked that up. Humble!
Oh my god.
Well, it's just, like, we know what
humble
they are.
Humble is the base for humility.
Having, low social, administrative, or political rank. She came from a humble, lower in dignity and...
Yeah, see, I don't necessarily think... I mean, that's one way of describing it. Yeah,
see, but that's
if you're
what
saying,
I mean. Like,
if you're from a humble
really
family,
different.
it just means that they're not extravagant, not over the top.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can definitely see that, yeah. Humble is not a word that can be defined without experience.
What else did I say? You can know...
You can not read and try to be it.
In my humble opinion.
No, I totally agree with that. In my humble opinion.
I don't know about that one. That one confuses me a little bit, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. I try to be... I mean, it's like one of my daily things. Like, not think you're...
Like
just to have an honest, truthful look at yourself. Like...
See, and then that's where I get confused with everything sometimes, too. Because it says to look as yourself as lower.
Not... Yeah, it says lower, but I don't agree with that. it's not having a swollen head about shit. Like,
but what if you're really good at that shit?
So
why not be like that?
Because it's kind of that's
not be jerky about it, but to be like, yeah, I did this thing.
There's different ways that you could take that though. Like there's those people that if you meet and they painted this amazing painting, right? Mm-hmm. And you're like, oh man, I can't wait to meet this person. I really want to meet this person. And you meet them and they're like, yeah, I painted it. What of it? You know, and you get that vibe, right? Where they're like, who are you to ask me about my painting? That is the opposite of being humble.
Have you have you experienced that kind of thing before?
Where people are kind of like aloof and off-putting? Mm. Yeah. I mean, that's why they say don't meet your idols. Because a lot of times you will be disappointed. Because they are human. Yeah, the opposite would be of humility, I think, would be arrogance. That is the opposite. Or in my opinion.
Let's see. We are 2 minutes out already.
Mm-hmm.
I think yours went on a little later, so
yeah,
it should be on at least 5 minutes or so.
And I have not accomplished shite. For everyone with sensitive ears out there, I could have said shit there. Wah, 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 wah. Oh God, what have I done?
What?
I have to paint this thing black again.
You don't like it?
It's just a mess. I'm not really focused on it. I'm over here.
Well, it's probably because the reference pictures aren't in front of you, too.
Well, no, my reference pictures are right here.
Well, the real ones. Or the ones you've been sketching. The more detailed ones.
Yeah, but still. I think it's more I'm just...
Dilly-dally.
Running my mouth more than actually painting and focusing. Fucking lame tits.
Lame tits.
Yeah. Another one of my fun-filled sayings. Yeah, if I ever get it going. I've got good reference that I was working on right before, but I didn't print them all. So yeah, this is justice, or will be justice at some point.
I just realized what the noise in the background was. It's my phone playing everything.
Oh. Playing everything?
It was on the YouTube Live video feed.
Oh. I was like, is that a band? Be everything.
Be everything.
I'll be everything.
That's a video game.
Thanks. What's up?
I said that's a video game with Alan Waltz's voice in it.
I'll be everything.
Mm-hmm.
And now somebody's text-a-lating.
Text-a-lating.
Text-a-lady.
Text-a-lady. Text that lady now.
No, texta-latine. I don't know.
Texta-latine?
Yeah, I like making up words.
Is that when the...
I think that had come... what's that?
Is that when the phone lactates?
No. I mean, if my phone starts lactating, holy shit. What am I going to record that with? I need to record that. Put it on YouTube.
See more developed. Take it easy. Hope all is well. I appreciate the time you share with us. My wheels are turning. Probably one of the best formats to try to lead for conversations. Thanks to both of you.
Cool. Thank you. Thank
you for watching.
Yeah, being
Hell
a part.
yeah. And if you like this, follow us on the Paint Night YouTube channel and the Instagram too. They're pretty cool. They have all of our conversations and such.
Yeah, usually disjointed and weird.
Oh, disjointed and weird. But that's family. Yeah. You just love it.
Yeah.
You don't
that's what you get out of a gangly dude that says textiling.
I can't believe that's a word. I'm looking that up right now. How do you spell that, ish?
What? It's not started with ish.
Gangly. Ish.
Gangly-ish.
Gangly.
Somebody that's long and lanky, kind of. Because that's what ish is.
Tall and thin and having long, slender limbs. That sounds like a poem. That sounds like a children's book of description.
That's exactly what I said at the beginning. When you're like, what is gangly?
No, I know that's what you said, but I was like, I'm going to look it up to see if this is really true or not.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. A lanky kid transformed almost overnight into a... That says lanky, not gangly.
Yeah, they're using lanky as a stand-in. So
you know what? We should
just use your voice text.
You're right. Well, no. I spelled it right. It said lanky in the example. See?
Yeah, so you know where to put it.
And then a lanky.
I
know what lanky is.
Yeah.
I've never heard of gangly before.
Gangly is just another term for it.
Okay. That's all. I was just pointing out the fact that in their example that they used, they didn't use gangly.
Have you ever seen a thesaurus?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen a thesaurus. This is the dictionary, though.
Yeah.
The dictionary usually uses a word within it.
Sometimes.
Usually. I may be wrong.
Well, not that time.
I know nothing. I am Jon Snow. I just...
Shit.
Well, it's closing out on both ends.
All right.
Do you want to end it there?
I think
pretty good there.
Yeah, I accomplished
Thanks for
nothing.
watching us accomplish nothing today.
Yeah.
We appreciate you being here and watching us paint light and blobs onto paper or onto canvas.
Yeah, and listen to ridiculous gangly stories.
All the gangly stories, but be sure to join us every Wednesday and Sunday. We'll be
roughly around 8.
We'll be fucking around even more.
Yeah. Maybe next time I'll have some shit for you guys to actually look at.
Mm-hmm.
Or
well, you
watch
got your
paint.
sketchbook there.
Well, yeah, I mean,
that
you
was
got something
good.
to look at. But.
I likes it.
All right. Well, thank you again for checking us out tonight. Make sure you give us a follow on Paint Night Podcast on YouTube and on Instagram. You can also follow each of us on Instagram and Facebook and all of those things. Like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Nobody's left comments, so I can't comment anything weirder back. But yeah, so thanks again. And like always, paint a lot and talk shit.
Hey, whatever works.
All right.